coming up in today's video.
To get her or maneuver. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Magical Moon video. That day has arrived. It's the day before we go and get the lorry. We've got to make some preparations, but a lot of you have asked how we're going to get her or maneuver down our little lane, which is our driveway. It comes off a slightly bigger lane at the top, but it is quite narrow. We're going to take you for a little wander and just show you how, well, I think it's going to be done. We've got other stuff going on as always here, and Dorothy, May and Thomas have had that follow-up treatment, and we've got a visit from Thomas, our farrier. Enjoy the video. Here we are, we're at the top of our drive. We're on the main road, which is slightly bigger, and you might be able to hear the dog barking in the background. He's a very handsome cane corso that lives just, well, about 30 yards down there, and we're going to go past him on the way down. So hopefully gives us a bit of peace in this bit of footage. But we're going to get the lorry to here. We have to use all this space to then be able to negotiate the corner, because we're going round, and I might have to just get onto the verge, which is along the side. It's nice and stable, but it is going to be a little bit tight, and then it's onwards down the drive. We're a little further down than the big dogs now, so it has gone quiet for a minute, but this is the tunnel of trees that goes all the way down to our farm, and as you might have noticed, we are a bit wildling on the Moon farm. We like it that way. It's also really handy for the horses. You might have seen footage of me, or Team Thomas definitely have, but you might have seen footage as well of Thomas and I walking up here or grazing the horses on the side. It's a really, really useful area, especially when there's not a lot of grass. Always you can count on our driveway. There's always goodies here, and the kids come foraging for wild strawberries. It has been maintained, and that's the council come down here. We have a telephone wire or a fibre line that goes all the way down, so they have a duty to come down and keep it just trimmed back higher up, and they do mow the verges. But as I said, I try and keep them away from it as much as possible. It just makes it good for our practical needs. And as we go down, you'll notice there are some branches which I'm going to show you that are overhanging, but you'll see that we're not having to cut any big branches down. I used to have a very big lorry before, and I kind of trimmed round the trees many moons ago, and now it's just a case of having a little tidy up, then we can carry on down. As I mentioned, this is just a bit of superficial branch, these little sprigs that are coming out, and we need to trim these bits back. This is I reckon, the biggest challenge of the whole driveway, because we have a ditch or a dike that runs along the side. It's a drainage ditch, and I have to follow the edge of that very, very closely so that the rest of the trailer will eventually end up going more that way and not to here. There's a lot more room here than you think, and obviously as we've left it, it just kind of just keeps growing. And if you're only having cars and small vans down here like Vera and obviously our car, it's no problem. But we just need to, yeah, just a little trim, and then it's onwards and upwards or downwards towards the farm. Some of you eagle-eyed viewers might have seen this on the way up. It's the old telephone line, and we had those storms not so long ago, and it moved everything around and it's come off its clip on the next telegraph pole. So that's something we're definitely going to have to address, because it actually makes that corner I was just talking about a little bit tighter than what needs be. So we're back down here, and as you can see, we're nearly at the house. We've got a few little bits to do on these trees just down beside where the donkeys are, but the most important thing is going to be long term. Where are we going to store the lorry, the whole unit? We've been thinking of a few different ideas, and of course we've cleared around the side of the house, we put the drainage in, but out the front of the house we had that mobile field shelter where Charlotte and Grace were and other horses have been, and subsequently we've moved it to the fields, and it's working really well there. So we do have an open space, and it could be big enough to manoeuvre the lorry. But we want to extend that wildflower garden all the way across to really kind of tie it all in together and have it as an area where we don't have vehicles out the front. It can just be where the horses and the animals can come and go, and you might have seen us treating the horses or washing the horses just outside, and it's quite a useful area. It's near our little utility room. So with that in mind, we're thinking just to the side of me here, I had a big machine and I'd been moving stuff around. When we first arrived, we had to dig quite a lot of, quite a lot of earthworks I did, and I created a flat area, and I was envisaging having a menage or an area to ride the horses. So there is quite a space there. I'd have to form a ramp, but I think it would work really well. It means we could just come down and literally turn left, and we could put the lorry up. It would be secluded from the house. We'd obviously be able to see it from here, but it would be in a good position. It's up nice and high, and what that means is if and when needed, we could literally just drive straight out. So there's going to be no turning, and yeah, we just don't need to have it where it's not accessible and it's easy to move. So we're going to have a little measure up, and it's something we can do in up and coming episodes, and I think it's definitely worthy of exploring the option of having it there. But when we go to pick her up, it's just going to be a case of, for now, we'll get her down and put her out the front of the house and just really enjoy the moment and share it with you guys. And what an achievement to, we're still kind of pinching ourselves now that she's going to be coming back to the Magical Moon Farm. Thank you all so much again. Let's just pop down to the yard and catch up with what's been going on. So I'm here with the blue-eyed button moon, and as you've seen, he's been kicking his heels up. He's really getting animated and forming that very cheeky character of a young chappie, which is quite understandable. He is just so cute. And as you've seen, we've had a busy day. We've had the farrier Thomas come to do some trims on the hooves. And we also had the follow-up treatment for Thomas and, of course, Dorothy May, just trying to get those things moving, but all part of that research and development program, which we're so pleased to be a part of. Now it's time to spend, well, a little outing down to the woods with the Viking dogs. So there you have it, Eloise and Loki back from that walk, and you can see their social network is definitely developing. They're with Toby's friends, who you might have seen helping round on the farm, and of course they spend time with the family, but the young ones love them and they sure love to go down into the woods and bask about in the river. It's just lovely to see them as settled as they are. A big thank you to Judith, our patron. She always puts a link or a top pinned description of the music, because lots of you have asked about the music that Jenny chooses to accompany the videos, and Judith puts that little link there so you can go and enjoy those links and follow up on the music. Now all that's left to do is get up the drive and make the preparations for the very special new arrival. And on that note, I'm going to say stay magical, and we'll see you next time.